Welcome to Fortune Forecast. Thank you for stopping in on my channel. And today is Tuesday, March 15th, 2022. And so if you're here for the first time, thank you. And if you are a Fortune Forecast subscriber, welcome back. As we interpret today's message, let's get started. So hopefully you had a great day yesterday, my friend, and that things weren't so rough as they appeared, and that you decided to allow your day to be as you wanted it and not as the day wanted to rule you. Let's look at money today. What does it say about money? And how are we going to move with that energy? Money is current, currency, the base word for current. And so how does it flow in our lives? Are we going to allow it to be stagnant, or are we going to let it flow? Okay, so we already see some things are not working out. So if you are trading paper this morning, it looks like there's going to be some hiccups in the stock market. Who knows if there's going to be some manipulations, but definitely seeing something on the downtrend. So see how you can position your investments properly. Talk to your stockbroker if you have one. And if you don't, make sure that you do a little bit more homework. You have those market manipulators, and they jump in real quick and hear you thinking that you're going on the news, but they've got some insider information and they're just pumping those stocks, and then by the time you jump out, it's a little bit too late. But anyway, see what you can do to minimize those losses. In general, what I see here is that you've got to kind of make sure that your investments are risks well taken. You've worked really hard for your money, and it just seems like it's easier for it to, get sucked out of your bank than it is for you to, be pumping it in. In general, make sure that you are investing at least at 10% so that you can have a cushion for anything that may come up. It looks like there's going to be some situations that are going to require for you to tap into some of your savings. So keep that in mind. And sometimes I know that things do happen, but what you can do is minimize those losses by creating responsible financing, responsible budgeting. Sometimes we have to take a what is it called? A very conservative position so that later we can enjoy a little more. So let's take a look in the area of relationship. You figured with the lucky thing of the March, those little leprechauns, where are they? We need some leprechauns, right? So here, how do we fare in the area of relationship? Okay, now somehow I feel like this is still overflowing from yesterday, and you feel like it's out of control, and it's out of your control, and that's a situation that becoming aware of that. And the thing is how much of it is being manipulated here, the sense of control, because when we have the Chariot, you're balancing the yin and the yang, all the forces, everything you've got it balanced, and you're moving forward. And here there's some issues that you feel like you've lost that control, and you feel like you can't assert yourself, and you've lost the will and the excitement about this relationship. And you know what? Some of those things are just temporary, because the relationships have different phases. You have those early budding relationships, and then there's a little sense where there's a little more maturity. And being able to cross over each one of those stages is what's being asked of ourselves and also of the other person or persons. We can't have a level of expectation when we ourselves are feeling that we can't even understand who we are. So as we create a little bit of tolerance and self-acceptance and a little bit of patience, we can bring ourselves into some sense of harmony that if we can control ourselves, it's much easier to understand others. And see, we didn't use the word control, I used the word understand. That's how it's coming through. It's not about controlling the situation. It's about accepting and going with the flow. Each moment will reveal to you what you need to do next. Don't jump the gun right now. Let's see if you can just accept what's going on, understand yourself within it, and allow the next step to reveal itself. Okay, let's look at the next area. Career. Career. What do we have here in the area of career? I'm sensing a little frustration for some of you. There's a lot of jobs out there, but maybe it's not the one you want, and sometimes we have to jump into something not because we want it, but because it's going to take us where we need to be. Okay, and here it is. It's exactly the vibe that I was picking up. You know, it's like you feel like you're in a place where you've got you took on more than what you wanted. You're not feeling like you're getting paid what you thought you would. It feels like you can't handle it, but for some unknown reason, if you plow along, things will get better. But today, definitely, the expectations of your career was a little bit more than what you thought you could handle. And if you go in it with a good attitude and summon some strength from your core and a desire to just, learn a little bit what the company's expecting of you, and eventually you'll get to that place where you can communicate what it is that the situation is. What I see here is that you feel that you've taken on more than you can handle. One thing I've learned in life is that sometimes we're given an opportunity to learn how much we can do. And perhaps this is one of those, for you to develop more of your inner core, of your inner strength, and to probably activate a little bit more of that competitive edge about yourself, which you've neglected. Sometimes that sense of, challenging yourself. We're not talking about that competition with other people. Sometimes we don't compete with who we were yesterday. We just keep going, just keep going. Sometimes when we push ourselves a little bit more, challenge ourselves a little bit, and motivate ourselves, we develop more confidence, more desirability, more attraction, because we've learned a little bit more, not only about our own capabilities, but how to handle things around us. So let's see that as a positive. Let's take a look at well-being. Well-being. If these cards resonate, if these messages resonate, I hope that you can do something with the information and get a little more clarity as far as what you need to do to have a better quality of life. It's too precious, too precious. And that is my aim, to bring even one person, if one person can begin to create and tap into the better life, I'm happy for you, and this is well worth it for me, that I can make a difference. And as I interpret these messages for you. Okay, So what I'm sensing here is that there is something off with the health here, and it really has to do with your structure itself, the strength of your bones and the strength at your core. And also I'm sensing spending time with nature, do a little grounding, a little earthing. You can look that up on the internet. What is earthing? It's something very simple. It's spending some time barefoot, walking in the ground, and allowing the energy of the earth just come in and heal you, and interact with that environment of the minerals, and probably also now I said the word minerals also in your diet, getting a little bit more minerals, and using that to get a little bit more strength so you can have a little more vitality. Okay, let's look at the collective message for today. What is the collective message for today? We'll use Duguay's deck here. Okay, so here we go. I could see this message is resembling the fact that, that inner feeling like your light is not shining as bright as it should. And I would definitely suggest that part of that is also your inner ability, your soul, your at the core level. How much of that are you taking time to allow the light to flow for you? Are you taking time to connect with Source, with God? Are you allowing Spirit to fill your life, to give you purpose and to give you direction? Because that fountain is right now, you're not tapping into that. And that is infinite abundance flowing for you. As you could see, we've got some issues here in the finances today. We've got issues in the relationship. We're feeling overburdened in our career. And in our well-being, we need that reconnection. And it's really as simple as saying, God, fill me with your light, nourish me. I am so in need of you in my life and for this direction. Imagine if you could put that light ahead of you so that you can see better. But you have to welcoming it in. You're the one that has that power. You need to make that choice. So allow Spirit to fill you, and I pray that these messages help you today so that you can move on and make it a terrific Tuesday. Peace, my friend.